Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about a wound that really touched me and that Lise Bourbeau calls the wound of rejection. It's something I have experienced a lot, and I'm sure some of you will recognize yourselves. How this wound is born. This wound forms very early, from infancy, often with the same sex parent. The child may feel that they are not fully wanted or that they are a bother. Sometimes the parent is not cold or mean, just busy or elsewhere. But for the baby, it gives this feeling: I am not enough. I don't have my place. I realize today that this impression followed me for a long time. It created what Lise Bourbeau calls the mask of the fleeing, the one who makes themselves very small to avoid suffering. How to recognize it in yourself. Later, in adulthood, adolescence, it manifests as the fear of bothering or taking up space, a feeling of not really existing or always having to justify oneself, a desire to disappear in certain situations just to avoid being judged. For example, I often kept silent, said yes to things I didn't want, just to avoid risking rejection. What's crazy is seeing how she can reactivate herself when we feel ignored or that we are not being listened to, when a criticism affects us much more than it should, when we're not invited or feel forgotten. All of this awakens the little baby in us who was afraid of not being wanted. Language and posture. We also see it in the way we speak and how we hold ourselves. We tend to minimize what we say, to apologize all the time. The body is often erased, a bit curled up, shoulders pulled in. The gaze can be evasive, the voice low, as if we want to disappear. I remember doing this for years because I thought it would avoid problems. How to heal this wound? Healing, for me, started when I decided to give myself the right to exist, when I accepted myself exactly as I am with my shadows, but also my wonderful qualities, no longer apologizing for being here. Dare to say no. Take my place, even if it's scary. Repeat to myself every day: I love myself and accept myself exactly as I am. I take my place, I have my place, and I deserve to exist. Little by little, I noticed my body opening up, my posture changing, breathing more freely, and above all, my relationships became more genuine. Healing, according to Lise Bourbeau, involves several concrete steps, and I will share them in my own way. Becoming aware of the wound, recognizing when the fear of rejection manifests in your life, in your choices, reactions, and thoughts. Accepting the wound, understanding that it comes from childhood and that it is not your fault, but healing it is your responsibility. Loving yourself and giving yourself space, learning to say no, set boundaries, and fully exist even if it's scary. Observing your triggers. Identifying situations that awaken the fear of rejection and understanding that they just reawaken an old childhood memory, transforming your behaviors, gradually acting differently, speaking more freely, taking your place, asserting yourself without guilt. As Lise Bourbeau says, rejection is the deepest wound because the one who suffers from it rejects himself. For me, that means if I accept myself, no one can reject me. That was the wound of rejection. If you recognize yourself, know that you are not alone. Tell me in the comments if you have ever felt this way or if you have managed to take your place despite the fear. And subscribe, because I will soon tell you about the other wounds: abandonment, humiliation, betrayal, and injustice.